What's up, everybody? How is Bengal Nation doing? You see some people missing on the screen. You see some familiar faces. This is like the B crew. This is like the practice squad tonight, isn't it?
This is the practice squad.
This is the scrubs and the Tuesday tryout guys that get brought in when everybody's hurt.
So we appreciate you joining us and bearing with us tonight. Jamie's not here, so I'm wearing the producer cap and whatever other role tonight. And our buddy, Bengal Super Collector Josh is here, and the most informed historical person in Bengals lore, Tom, is here. So you're stuck with the three of us. We're going to have Dell on a little bit later. We're going to talk beer in the exciting announcement from 16 Lots and our friends at the Ken Anderson Alliance. Also, Bengals had some announcements this week about Fan Day we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about training camp. We're going to talk about the Hall of Fame. So we've got a lot to pack in this show. And I missed last week's show, and I'm sure some of the people tuning in this week did. Anybody want to give a quick update on the Shane Graham interview and how that went?
Yeah, Shane was awesome, man. He came in and Jimmy showed the old videos of his freshman year kicking that game-winning field goal. Blushed the cheeks up a little bit for Shane to make it match the redheaded hair, but what a great interview, great sport. He answered all of our questions, and he was, in my opinion, one of the better guests we've had. He was awesome.
Nice. Tom, anything?
He was fantastic. Just like when he was a player here, very classy guy. Unfortunately, he felt a little bit shy about talking to us and coming back to Cincinnati because of how things ended at the end of the 2009 season. But, like we told him, Bengal fans remember the good times. That's what we want. And, certainly the way he conducted himself when he was here as a player and since he left, and his all-pro performances, things we talked about, he really seemed to enjoy it, and hope we have him back sometime.
Nice. Did he mention, does he have a connection with Evan McPherson, our kicker?
Yes. Yeah, he talked about he said he's kind of ice cold. He said if you had a heart rate monitor on his chest, he'd realize low on the lows. And he said he has a potential to be an all-time great if he can just, not get too low or too high.
Nice. So I think we all miss Fat Randy, and we'll say a prayer for him up in Detroit. But excited for what Evan can bring, and great to hear good things about him. So if you're wondering where Jimmy is, he's with Tony, Brandon, Hannah, and Carrie. This is a picture of them this morning, masked up en route to Mexico. And let's see, what other did they send any other pictures? I think they might tune in later. So wish those guys a safe trip and fun down in Mexico as they get away for a week and enjoy the sunshine. And we're jealous, right?
Well, we won't get any pictures from Jamie, who was on special secret assignment prepping for next week's show. But we know he's safe, and we were a little disappointed he only waved to you and didn't kayak over to visit you, last week when you were up on the Canadian border. But, that's Jamie.
Every Canadian boat that went by me that had the maple leaf on it, I was looking for Jamie. Thought he might come over and surprise me, but no, nothing at all. Before we bring Dell on, let's get into what's coming up. We've got them in order here of things that are coming up, and two weeks, July 31st. Bengals announced this week a event at Paul Brown Stadium called Back Together Again. Gentlemen, go ahead and talk about that, which will be really the first big event since COVID, and the protocols have kind of been lessened per se now that the vaccine is in full effect. Obviously, we didn't have that during the football season last year. So the Bengals and their PR team have put together an event called Back Together, July 31st at Paul Brown Stadium. Let's hear what they have in store, gentlemen.
Well, they're very fired up like the rest of us to get back to a sense of normalcy in a normal football season. Man, I think it's great, just as training camp gets ramped up. They're welcoming everybody in for the practice July 31st to welcome back. We've got a lot of new faces on the field that we can get to watch for practice. And I'm sure they have a couple surprises and thank yous for us as fans. But they've been very open and very transparent and very excited about the team.
Breaking up a little bit there.
As a fan, start of the season.
Now, Josh, you mentioned as well, not only we get back into Paul Brown Stadium, get to see a practice, no autographs, but a lot of other fun activities around that day on July 31st.
Yeah, absolutely. So because of the COVID protocols, we're trying to get back to normalcy, like Tom said, to the best of our abilities, but they still don't want us necessarily getting photo ops or autographs from the players yet. So to counteract that, I have 4 children. You can come out and get your pictures with the Houday cheerleaders, Houday himself. They've got inflatables, a bounce house for the kids, face painting, balloon animals for the children, and they're going to be giving away autographed merchandise, footballs, jerseys throughout the day. So if you come down, you have a chance to bring something home for your man cave. So everyone should come on out. And I believe, James, that Bengal Jim is planning a pregame at 11 a.m. that morning. So you'll have an opportunity to come out at the Blind Pig at 11 a.m. on July 31st and grab a beer and pregame a little bit before we go in.
That is correct. July 31st, as you mentioned, Josh, pre-party leading up to the 2 p.m. gate open at Paul Brown Stadium at the Blind Pig. So 2 hours, you can drink your lunch or whatever you choose to do that day. But Bengal Jim, friends, a lot of us that you see on the show will be down there. So look forward to seeing you at 11 if you'd like to get down early and hang out with some friends before going to the stadium. And again, it's a lot happening July 31st. But in addition, as everyone knows, last year with training camp, fans were not allowed next to the stadium there to see anything. However, things are different this year. For August 7th and 8th, they have an opportunity for Bengals fans to get in. Tom, go ahead and touch on the what's going on the 7th and 8th.
Just west of the stadium at the traditional practice fields, they're going to open things up for 1,000 fans each day. You do have to go to Bengals.com to register to be one of the 1,000 that are assigned tickets. We're still a little mindful of safety and so forth. So 1,000 fans each per day to watch practice, 1 week before we go down and take on the defending Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So it'll be a little bit more scaled back than people, I think, recall the last 2 years, but still 1,000 fans is quite a bit in there. And but it'll still allow everybody a little bit of elbow room. And, the players always seem to appreciate us being there. Don't there'll be any autographs or anything like that. But certainly you can get as close as you're going to get to them in pads and get to watch our new team.
So that'll be fun. And then end of August, fast forward 3 weeks from August 7th to August 28th, 5 to 7 p.m., Bengals Memorabilia Roadshow at our buddy Dell's and 16 Lots in Mason. And for those that remember, we hosted a charity event for the Ken Anderson Alliance and the Green Berets for the Steelers away game last year, which was a lot of fun. We also did a live show from there last year. And this year, August 28th, are taking the Bengals show on the road, 16 Lots. Josh, go ahead and talk about the fun evening that's going to happen on August 28th.
So I'm absolutely pumped about this event. I had a chance to check out 16 Lots with Jim last week. It's a Bengal Memorabilia Roadshow. We're going to film this thing just like if you were watching the Antique Roadshow. We want Bengals fans to show up, come hang out with us for the evening, have a beer with us, eat some pizza. The food's there. It's delicious. We want you to bring a Bengals item with you, something from your personal collection, something that means something to you that you have that's Bengals related. Come on up, get on the show with us, explain how you got it, what it means to you. I already know that I've heard some great stories of people that plan to attend. I'm really looking forward to the night. David Fulcher is going to be there. We're going to be trying to raise money for the David Fulcher Foundation, this charity. We're going to have some giveaways, so you'll be able to build a Bengals memorabilia collection of your own if you don't have one. It's an opportunity to do that. We're also going to have an awesome Bengals memorabilia display, so you can come through and see some of the most
And in
rare personal
addition,
collection stuff.
sorry, Josh, you broke up a little bit. I apologize, everyone. Tom and perhaps even me are having some connection issues a little bit. So we'll work through those without our executive producer extraordinaire, Jamie, here. But in addition to the roadshow from 5 to 7, stick around. 16 Lots is going to make their trivia night that night Bengals specific. So we're going to see who knows their Bengals trivia, and certainly going to be a fun night there at 16 Lots. So tying into 16 Lots, our guest tonight had a huge announcement last week. I know a lot of our friends of the show were there and able to check that out. And without further ado, we're going to bring in our buddy Dell and talk about what happened this week between 16 Lots and a new association or agreement with the Ken Anderson Alliance. Dell, welcome.
What's up, guys?
We are just trying to keep our heads above water without Jimmy here, and doing our best. But while he's drinking whatever margaritas down on the beach in Cancun, so here we are. And you had a big week. Tell us about it,
Dude. We had such a big week. So everybody, in the Who Day Nation saw that we were finally able to announce that we have partnered with the Ken Anderson Alliance. And we have done a specific beer called Kenny's Day Drinking Lager, and it's going to be available starting, probably the first week of September. So I'm shooting to release it a week before the actual first game on September 12th. It's going to be everywhere cans are available in the greater Cincinnati area, so basically a portion of the proceeds are going to go to the Ken Anderson Alliance. And that doesn't mean it means from cans. If you see it on draft somewhere, so we already know that it's going to be available at places like the Holy Grail and Smoke Justice, some other places down that some are Kenny's favorite hangouts. Even the draft will actually have a portion of that going to the Ken Anderson Alliance as well. It'll be available all football season long. So Ken does a big event in February called Autism Rocks. So the plan is to each year have this beer for the entirety of the football season, and it'll come out and end at the Autism Rocks.
So I'm going to pop up this picture here, which is cool. This is the can, correct, Del?
That is, yeah. So basically, if you just picture that wrapped around a can, that's the actual label. So a good buddy of mine does all my artwork, and I mean he's a real pro. He works for Disney and Universal Studios. He also did the locker rooms and the broadcast studio at Paul Brown Stadium. So he has a real inside track on a lot of the design work. I give him ideas. I tell him, what I want. He comes back to me with these crazy ideas, and these super cool labels. This was a little bit of a different process just because I had to have, Ken involved. Beer is going to be representing him. So it took a little longer with the design aspect of it, going back and forth between, myself, a designer, and then a third party. But look at that thing. I mean, it's awesome. It's got all the concepts that I wanted in it. Ken Anderson's, number, prominently displayed a couple different times. The football itself right in the middle. Obviously the connotations that come along with DEY and day drinking. The color scheme is just ridiculous. And then I know that Bengal Jim mentioned a little Easter egg that we put on the cans. Did anyone figure that out?
Tell us about it.
So in that bottom left-hand corner on the can itself, I wanted to put a little shout out to our tailgate family and to Bengal Jim. And everyone knows that Bengal Jim's tailgate is called the Before the Roar Tailgate Experience. So the last line of the can there basically says, "Before the roar of the jungle." And that's a little shout out to our tailgate family.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Now tell us about, for those of us like me who weren't there, although I'm going to show a picture, we can see Tom dressed up in a suit with
Totally didn't
Bengal Jim.
recognize him.
Tom, do you want to defend yourself about this?
I wasn't there. I was at work. That's not me.
That's funny because I was at work too.
Okay, that's
so
not
is Jimmy,
Tom.
as everybody can tell.
So Del, tell us about the beer for those that didn't get a chance to taste it. How did it come about? Because we know Kenny likes his beer. Obviously, you guys are proficient in making beer. So how'd you guys collaborate and come up with this flavor?
Yeah, so it's been, I've been thinking about this for the last, 3 or 4 years. I've been the craft beer sponsor of the tailgate now 4 or 5 years. And, Kenny always stops in. He always says, hey, he knows we're raising money for them. And I'm always pawning off a beer. I'm like, I want him to take a picture with my beer in his hand. I'm always giving him like IPAs and, things like that. And one day we started talking about like what he liked to drink. And he said, I gotta be really honest. I know you're the beer guy, but I drink Keystone Light. Because that's what I drink at home. That's what I drink everywhere I can get it. He goes, but the problem is you go to like bars and restaurants, most of them don't have Keystone Light, so I'll go with Coors Light. He said, so between those two, that's basically all the beer I like and the beer that I like to drink. So we came up with this collaboration, and we figured out that for Kenny to be authentic, he has to want to drink that beer at all times. He wants to have his own beer in the fridge. He wants to be at tailgates and have his beer. So for the first time ever, I brought Keystone Light and Coors Light into my brewery where we make craft beer for a meeting with Kenny and Kevin at the Ken Anderson Alliance, just to compare those with beer that we already make, like German Pilsners, mid-century lagers, blonde ales, the really lighter stuff. And then we also had Coors Light and Keystone Light as our, baselines. The whole time, we went back and forth, and you could tell that Kenny just lit up every time he tasted the Keystone Light, and he was just like, "I got to go back to this. This is what I want. I love this beer. This beer is delicious. This is exactly what I want." And I said, "All right, fine, we'll do it for you." So Keystone Light, just so everyone knows, is 4.1% alcohol, and it's got 6.8 IBUs, which is international bitterness units. So that's how the bitterness is. So it's very, very low. If you remember those old Keystone ads with the bitter beer face stuff. So it's a very low bitterness, very crystal clear beer. So when we did the batch of Kenny's Day Drinking, it came in at 4.2, so 0.1% above alcohol of Keystone Light. And we came in at 7 IBUs, 0.2 above. So for as much as, a beer expert as I am, I can't really tell the difference when I'm drinking the two, and it really doesn't matter, because when we poured it for Kenny there at the grand opening of the Just Brewed Coffee House in the Ken Anderson Alliance building, he lit up and he was like, "You nailed it. It's exactly what I wanted. It's perfect." And we proceeded to finish that keg off pretty fast.
Now, the two people on the top of the screen were not there. Maybe the guy in the bottom left was. Maybe he wasn't. Tom, can you give us any feedback on what you may or may have not sampled?
I did not get to sample it as I stopped in and then had to go back to work. But I think the key from what you saw there is, the free samples Del was getting out. You notice Tony was up there more than once for the free sample. So, there's the expert. Certainly who it was, and there he is again. And Jimmy, I know sampled it, and I think what was really nice is Elizabeth and Katie Blackburn.
Oh, I do have that
Ken
picture.
Anderson's
There's Who Day. It looks like Tom.
There's Elizabeth.
Tom didn't sample it,
future
but
of the
Who Day
franchise,
sampled it.
The one we all relate with. She's corrupting Who Day.
Yeah, and Kenny lit up. Kenny loved it. Elizabeth loved it. It was a really good experience, and I'm so excited for it to get out in the market, to see my displays built all over town, and to have it pouring in Paul Brown.
For those that maybe live outside the area, come to town, maybe don't make the tailgate on a regular basis, when will this be available for purchase in stores or at 16 lots for those that are interested?
I'm shooting for September 5th, which is a full 7 days before kickoff of the first game. Okay. So, and it's a little bit on my side. I want a week, obviously, before kickoff, but I also, that's like, there's a big beer conference that I have to go to in Denver, Colorado, that I'll be gone from September 7th until September 11th. So I'm actually taking the red eye back from Denver to Cincinnati in order to make the tailgate Sunday morning.
I did that once. I drove all night from a Syracuse Clemson game in Syracuse to make it back to the 49ers home opener a couple of years ago. I didn't have the luxury of flying and sleeping. I drove, but your dedication is there. We have one other picture, Dell, that maybe you can touch on. You said it was also a coffee house here. You can see
Yeah.
Kenny cutting a ribbon. Can you elaborate on this picture at all for us?
Yeah, so basically that's obviously Kenny in the middle. He's standing next to the Silverton, which is the town that the coffee shop is based in. It's in Cincinnati. It's just a neighborhood, and it's off of Montgomery Road and Plainfield. A very urban area and very central to Cincinnati. I happen to live like 2 miles down the road, but so basically Just Brewed is going to be it's a coffee shop. A full service coffee shop that's going to be manned by adults with disabilities, and basically it's like a vocational training for folks with disabilities, and to help raise money for some future projects that Kenny wants to do.
Nice. Josh, anything you'd like to ask Dell, or anything you'd like to add on this?
I did just want to touch on the coffee shop that Ken opened in Silverton. It does employ adults with disabilities, and I just think that it's a great cause. So, if you could just make it an opportunity to get out there and check it out and get some coffee, it all goes to a great thing. Kenny's a great guy and a great man, and it goes into everything that we doing with him in the Hall of Fame, and it just keeps doing work for the community, and that's why he's a legend, man. That's why Dell's doing this beer. That's why we love him.
Tom, anything else you'd like to add?
Well, kind of building on what James said, Ken's been working on this sort of thing for a very long time to help adults with disabilities and give them proper living quarters. And in meeting so many of them that day, they're excited. They're thrilled when somebody comes in and wants something. They were thrilled and so appreciative of everybody being there today. And the location is great right there on Plainfield Road, like Dell said, in Silverton. Very convenient parking in and out. And I believe Monday through Saturday when they're open, they will be open at 7, 2 nights of the week. I think Tuesday and Thursday they close at 7. The other days they're open till 4. But the place is outstanding. You can buy things supporting the Alliance in there. You can buy a Ken Anderson jersey, even one from Augustana. But you can buy a Bengals jersey. You can buy an Augustana jersey, a couple of T-shirts, and you can also, if you want to take some coffee home, dry roast, the beans themselves, you can buy some of that. And like the beer, I think there's a couple coffees that Ken customized himself, and he signed a lot of the bags. So it's a great place for a great cause, and I would encourage football fans and not just to stop by to support the cause.
Before we let you go, Dell, we touched on before you came on the air the event we're having August 28th at 16 Lots, of memorabilia show. And as we talked about, the trivia night after that. Anything you'd like to add to that night that, once again, you guys are going to be gracious hosts up at your 16 Lots facility in Mason?
No, actually, one cool thing that night, too, is got the opportunity to speak with Fulcher the other day when we were at the Sam Hubbard Foundation fundraiser, and he was super excited about coming to 16 Lots and being part of the Bengals Roadshow. And we also asked him, hey, we're known for our pizza as well. What's your favorite pizza? And we're going to do a special pizza that night. It's going to be a chicken Alfredo pizza, which is Dave Fulcher's favorite.
Oh, nice. Now, who's in charge of this Bengals trivia question? So I don't want Tom, getting in there cheating and getting
it's
any of
actually
the
our
answers.
trivia company called Last Call Trivia, so it's legit. They
Okay.
They're the ones that are putting together for us.
Tom doesn't have an inside track?
No.
I am not eligible.
Oh, okay. All right.
I said this last week, James. I'll stand by it, though. I was notified that if Tom has purchased a beer, he might sling an answer at your table. I'm just saying.
All right, Del. Well, we appreciate it, buddy. It looks like a fun day that you had, a announcement and something you've been working on for a while, and finally able to make that announcement. And man, the hard work's paid off. So look forward to seeing that at the tailgate for the home opener in September.
Absolutely. I'm beyond excited. I can't wait, guys.
Well, we appreciate all you do, Del. Keep up the great work, and man, 16 lots is all over the map, and
right.
you guys are working hard, so keep it up.
Yeah, we were named in the Cincinnati Enquirer last week as one of the 5 hottest breweries in Cincinnati, and there's
Nice.
60, so that's saying something.
That's awesome. Well, we appreciate everything you do, and like I said, keep rolling, Del.
Awesome. Who day, guys?
Take care. Who day.
Take care, Del.
All righty, man. That looked like a fun day, and man, I'm just going to show this picture one more time. Tom dressed up, just in case our millions of followers didn't get a chance to see that. Now we're going to go live. I don't think it's been a while since we've gone to Mexico. Maybe the first show ever when we had our Bengals Mexico fans on, when we toured the globe and we had people from all over. Some of them were intoxicated, maybe like tonight. I don't know how the cervezas or the margaritas or whatever are flowing. So let's see how this satellite stream ties into Mexico.
Hey, cervezas are delicious, and Tony's drinking wine.
Oh, what is Italian? Is that what you guys had?
We're eating an Italian dinner in Mexico right now, dude. It's delicious.
Looks like Brandon has an iced tea. Is that an iced tea?
Yeah, it's an iced tea with lemon in it.
Oh, all right.
Hey, Del was awesome, man. It was a great event at Ken Anderson Alliance, man. That was a really fun time.
So tell us about it, since Tom didn't partake in the beer. Josh and I weren't there. Tell us, what's this new beer taste like?
Well, us three, we did take some of that beer, and
a lot of samples.
If you like any light beers like Coors Light or Keystone Light, this is Ken Anderson's beer right here. It's delicious. Hey, you can drink multiple of these things at the tailgate all day at the tailgate. It's good, man. It's very good.
Who Day had a beer, but Tom didn't. What's wrong with this picture?
Poor Tom. Tom was at work. Tom did not show up at that event.
Hey, did you see this picture, Jimmy? Just in case, we're just going to show this all night.
Photoshopped.
That is not Tom. He was photoshopped.
That's my office. I got that in my office wall. Hey, going back to what we're doing in August on the road show, James, the shocking thing of that, did you hear when Josh disclosed that Jimmy and he went up and scouted it out one evening?
Yeah.
Scouted out 16 lots. I mean, I'm stunned.
Yeah.
Hey, Josh and I had to try 22 beers to make sure it was appropriate for everybody else to be there. So Josh and I took care of that. All the beers are good. We're good.
Jimmy gets to the end and said, "Which one did you like the best?" So I said, "Let's go back through and I'll tell you." So we went 22, and then
we had to double sample everything, guys. It was good.
Thank God for Uber.
Good to be sure.
One question: did Tony not get the Hawaiian shirt memo?
No, he didn't. He didn't.
He must have.
He did. Look at him. But he does have a Bengals flag hanging outside his room. What else? Oh, and a giant Bengal rubber ducky inflatable here. It's pretty impressive.
All right.
Impressive.
I think I sent that to James.
Hey, James, we sent you that picture from Tony, I think.
Yeah, well, we've got this next segment of our show. We've got about 94 pictures of beer that we're going to show, thanks to our Bengal super collector, Josh here. Who knew Bengals and beer were so synonymous? But we're going to learn about that here in about 2 minutes when Josh talks about all that. And I do have a barf bag next to me, because we are going to talk about that one beer that I despise. There's pictures of it.
Hey, you want to get on? Hey, we're streaming live right now.
Yeah, this.
Hola. He said hola. Hola.
Oh. What are you trying to get your silverware? What's going on there?
Yeah, we got forks, knives, and drinks. We're good.
Oh, all right.
We'll see you guys. Hoo day from Mexico. Love you guys. Hoo day.
All right. Take care.
Bye, Jimmy. Yeah.
All right.
That's
Back to our regularly scheduled programming now. Let's see here. All right. We talked about those events. August is going to be busy with the training camp, and it is going to be a little different as we talked about, because of protocols, things like that. But hey, at least we're able to get back in. Fan day will be fun for a lot of people, and then the road show. But tying into beer, Josh, we got a lot to talk about with Bengals history and beer and sponsors and what's happened since '68.
We do. Beer and football, it's synonymous. So
let's see here. I'm going to pull up some pictures. I think
Two of
they
us.
are. I think they are in order. Josh, your connection is popping in and out a little bit, so we'll work through this here. I think I have these in somewhat of an order, and I'm just going to pop them on the screen, Josh, and you can start talking, my friend.
Okay, so 1968, the Cincinnati Bengals become a team, and Burger Beer, a local Cincinnati beer company, jumps right in with advertising. As you see here, Burger Beer brings you Paul Brown's Cincinnati Bengals. So from day one, alcohol was involved in sponsoring the Cincinnati Bengals. That beer from Burger to 1973 until it was purchased by the Hootapole Company. And they still ran some Burger products, but Hootapole and Burger were all under the umbrella of Hootapole. We'll see some more Bengals Burger memorabilia. Here's an actual schedule from the 1968 season. So that's the first season of the Cincinnati Bengals. And there you see the Burger Beer logo. That is just an awesome, awesome, awesome schedule. Brings you Paul Brown's Cincinnati Bengals. I think we have a picture of the beer bottle that Burger made.
Yeah, I want to show you that. But one thing that's interesting on this is Paul Brown, Cincinnati Bengals. I don't know if I've ever seen that written anywhere else or described. Certainly, Tom, feel free to chime in. But have you ever seen that written out on any propaganda?
I have a little
like
bit,
this?
and it's just my guess. One that was the main for a upstart fledgling franchise. They had Paul Brown, one of the pillars of football period, especially pro football, which gave him instant credibility. And he was so revered, from his years at Ohio State and up in the city by Lake Erie. So that, it gave the Bengals. And the other thing was it might have been a little bit of the thumb in the eye to the team that plays on Lake Erie that, Paul Brown was here. Paul Brown had a team. And, Cincinnati was so excited and fired up to have it. I mean, you have to figure if not for the Bengals franchise, there may not have been a pro sports period in Cincinnati. The Reds were fighting to get a stadium and really couldn't. And it was on the strength of the Bengals coming and getting affixed in there. That Riverfront Stadium was built. And, of course, the NBA Royals left in the early 70s. So, it was a very big deal, and a very big deal, not just that we had the Cincinnati Bengals, but they were an organization coached and ran by Paul Brown.
Nice. I think this is the other picture you were looking for, Josh.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is what the actual product looked like when you would buy a case of Burger Beer in 1968 through 1973. That is what all Burger Beer bottles look like. But if you look up the neck part of the bottle, it's kind of blurry, but you'll notice the original Cincinnati Bengals runs on the neck of every bottle sold from 68 through 73. And that is a rare piece right there. Those are not easy to come by, but they are just an awesome collectible if you can get your hands on some.
All right, we're going to stick with Burger Beer here. And it looks like for several years they did these calendars?
They did. They were about poster size schedules that they would give these out to the local bars to promote the product. As I said, it ran from 68 to 73, but for just a few more years, I think through 78, 79. So you see here on this one, it says 1975 Cincinnati Bengals on radio. So there's the preseason and regular season schedule there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 preseason games, which that's interesting as well, just to show you how much times have changed. Now we're down to 3 starting this season. But yeah, this is one of the rare pieces that you find out there. That's a beautiful piece. Of all beer-related items, the Burger Beer stuff is the hardest to find.
I think the last time I was up at, was it the Sports Gallery? They had one of these for sale. I want to say it was a 2-piece one. Yeah, that they had. But here's another one. This one's 76, it looks like, Josh?
Yeah, 76, same thing. It's a beautiful piece. They would always use kind of generic players in them. That's not necessarily, they would never market one specific player, I don't believe, at least. But because you'll notice some of the numbers are former numbers of Bengals legends, but then you'll get a oddball number that they never really gave anyone. But just beautiful advertisements. As I said, they're super hard to come by, but probably the cream of the crop with Bengals collectibles is all the Burger Beer merchandise. Here's the 1969 schedule, the final year, I believe, almost the second year. Once again, you see brings you Paul Brown's Cincinnati Bengals. So they really were pushing that, Paul Brown was the coach. They really put him on a pedestal to try to market people to, be fans of this team.
Nice. Brewed with pure artesian water. How about? I wonder if 16 Lots is brewed with artesian water. Let's see. What'd you say?
I'm going to write that down. That'll be a question for Dylan.
All right. Staying with the burger theme, we have something a little bit different here.
I believe pocket schedules. You kind of, you see them at restaurants like Frisch's. They hand these out and whatnot. I don't know what restaurants carried these in the, late 60s, early 70s, but these are just all really rare, about the size of business cards with a beautiful burger and hoodoo pole on the front and then the schedule on the back. That's a cool one right there because, as I had mentioned earlier, hoodoo pole purchased burger. So you got both beer logos on there, the Hoodoo Pole Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio.
That is, do you know what year that one's from? That's not the back of this. Oops, let me see here. That's not the back of this one.
Do you know that they? No, I don't believe so.
Okay.
Like I said, I do know that they purchased burger in 73. So that would probably be 74, 75, 76.
Yeah.
So this one is, go ahead, Tom.
No, I just, you were mentioning the different numbers on there. I saw number 44. I can't imagine Doug Dressler, who was a fullback for the Bengals, ever place kicking, especially back then. But it made for good art.
Sure did.
Hold on, where is that? Is that this one? Oh, there you go. Shane Graham Holden back in what year? 60,
yeah.
68. All righty. This one is.
So this one's a little beat up, but the reason I sent this to you guys is it's super destroyed, but that is the first year. That's 1968 schedule. So this may be the, one of the first pieces of Bengals memorabilia ever. So I don't actually own that. That's a picture from the internet. But if you could ever come across that, think about it. 1968, they're bringing you Paul Brown's Cincinnati Bengals. They already have the schedule printed up. So that might be the first
very, very
actual
cool
piece of memorabilia ever.
All right. Let's see here. One more.
So there's the 1970, looks like a folding pocket schedule, 1971 Cincinnati Bengals. So that's probably two different schedules there.
I think we remember, the pocket schedules used to be huge, and obviously with the internet, we see less and less of these, and not to mention how many people held on to these over the years. So these are very cool pieces of Bengals history for sure.
If you could go back in time, imagine they just hand out. They're worth anywhere from $75 to $100 a piece.
Crazy. I think that is all of our burger ones. So which ones do you want to go to next, Josh?
So from burger, they were purchased by Hoodoo Pole. So let's show some of the Hoodoo Pole stuff.
How about this?
That's perfect. So Hootie Delight, that was the beer that was predominantly came out in like 78, 79. So Hootie Delight was a fan favorite. They were bashing that down at the stadium, and that's basically where we have our Who Dey chant from today. Who Dey think going to beat these Bengals? It was just a beer related chant that we still have as our moniker today. This piece right here is a wall plaque, the pride of Cincinnati from Hoodoo Bowl beer. Those are actually made out of plastic. It looks like a wood frame, but it's a plastic frame. This is a favorite collectible piece of mine. I know a lot of people that have one of these. They run about $100 a piece when you find them. Just a really cool piece. That's one of the first things I ever had when I started collecting.
And staying along with that,
I got it from get your hands on one of those. That's a beautiful piece.
This was looks like a tweet that Jason Williams sent over to us, a prototype can, which is pretty cool. As we know with anything in collectibles, prototypes are hard to come by because oftentimes they're destroyed or the actual manufacturer holds on to them. So it looks like we have some artwork of prototype cans. Anything you want to talk about here, Josh?
Yeah, so I believe as Jason said along with this, but it's kind of a well-known history of the Bengals so the Hootie Delight basically got so popular in Cincinnati that Hoodoo Pole just pulled down on the Bengals and said, hey, let's make this an actual product for the Cincinnati Bengals. And Who Dey cans were born in 1981, I believe, that Super Bowl season. And Jason is displaying an awesome picture here of 3 different of the original or the prototypes. I don't believe the cans have the stripes, so that's what he's saying is the prototype. I guess and originally we're planning to go to stripes on the cans.
Very cool. Let me see what.
But that's like they do have stripes on the cans. But yeah,
Let me see what else we got from Houday. This is maybe the actual can.
that's the actual can released in the 1981 season. Hootapole beer. And then down there they have the moniker, who did think going to beat them Bengals. So it took off in 81.
There you go. I'm trying to keep these in order, and maybe this is the next one.
Go to the other one right before that one.
Silver can?
Yes.
This one.
Nope.
This one?
One more. There we go. So that was the one. Yeah. So as it progressed through that decade and got towards the 1988 season, they wanted to update the can and display a more kind of vicious looking tiger. It looks like. So Houday got bigger graphic. The tiger got bigger. 14K premium beer, and then once again kept the slogan of Houday think gonna beat them Bengals. And then they actually made the Super Bowl, so Houday released a special commemorative can. That's the one that you had on with the gold logo.
Yeah, let's pull that one up. This one.
There it is.
Yep.
Yes. Now we have a true collectible of that 88 season. Bengals AFC champs Houday, and you got that beautiful Super Bowl 23 logo in gold there. Super Bowl commemorative can edition. So
now what's that go for, Josh, if somebody can find one of those?
These 6 packs of cans, they're about $20 a piece for the 6 packs, but the one with the Super Bowl logo can go anywhere from maybe
now on the
25 to 50.
cans.
The cans still have the beer in them.
Okay.
What's that?
I was going to ask, does it make a difference if the cans are opened or are unopened?
I don't think so. I actually had a conversation with someone about that one time. Some people like the beer out of it because they do tend to rust and leak at the bottom, but other people are picky. Like, man, it'd be really cool if the beer was still in it. So I don't necessarily think it increases or decreases the value in any way, but all of mine do have the beer in them, and I can attest that some of my shelf have like rust marks from the bottom of the cans on it.
All right, looks like we have maybe ties back into the can that we showed there.
Yeah, so this is it's a limited edition. I actually don't know a number on these. I picked that up at Sports Gallery a few years back, but it's just basically it's a poster of the Super Bowl commemorative can, 1988 to 89 Super Bowl commemorative edition. So these are floating out there. That's just another really cool beer-related Bengals piece because, as I said, the beer stuff's just hard to come by, man. But that is about a 18 by 24 poster that they put out. That's from
all right, and
the 88 season as well.
We showed this one. This one.
Yes. So that's actually a mini keg. It stands about a foot, maybe a foot tall. This is actually a more recent Bengals item. They put these out in the 2005 season when the Cincinnati Bengals restored back to prominence in the Cincinnati area. They got back into the marketing game, and they released these Houday mini kegs that were sold at Kroger. So, yeah, you could actually get quite a few beers out of that.
Tom, anything you want to add to the
because they only ran them the 1 year.
Was Houday part of your day drinking schedule?
The collection, I can confirm to him, if you have them, watch out. They will rust at the bottom. You got to watch at that. But no, those were really big, and it was almost when Hootapole came out with their Houday beer. It was like an official mark of the season that, hey, we're for real this year. We got a chance to go to the Super Bowl. So yeah, those are a big part of the and of course beer and breweries are a big part of Cincinnati's history. But yeah, it was a nice marriage when the Bengals came and has continued through the years.
All righty, now Jimmy's sending messages, and the girls that he's with feel left out, so we're gonna quickly add them so they can say hi. Hello, right, ladies.
Get ready.
Hi.
Houday chicks.
Houday chicks.
Hot.
This one.
Oh, there you are.
There you go.
Hi,
There you
ladies.
are.
There's more
Hi.
people here than just them.
Well, that's why we got you on. We had a little intermission in the beer segment, so maybe you can
The
hold up
ratings
a beer.
just went up.
Anything you'd like to add, ladies?
there any
To,
Any questions?
Any questions you'd like to ask us about these three guys sitting around next to us?
Are you going to bring them back?
I don't know.
To be determined.
We have to have a COVID test to come home.
oh,
Well,
Wow.
I'm not worried about Jimmy. Trish is there, so
yeah.
I'll bring them home.
Is Brandon drinking anything other than Bud Light, Hannah?
Yes,
Modelo.
he had a couple margaritas earlier.
And
Okay.
he has
He's drinking
Modelo.
Modelo. He's not had
Okay.
one Bud Light.
Carrie, does Tony have any face paint with him?
No.
Okay.
But he
So we-
did bring his hair.
He got his hair.
The
Okay.
jersey.
Okay.
does his
Well, you're-
passport picture? Is he in makeup for his
No.
passport picture?
No. But
All
that
right.
would be funny if he went to travel somewhere and was in makeup and didn't match his ID.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can try that next time.
But you could. All right. Well, you ladies are in charge of keeping them in line. Send lots of pics and have fun.
We will try our best.
All right, ladies.
Fun.
See ya.
Here,
Huda.
All right. Back.
Jane, you may be in charge from now on. We may never see Jimmy again.
Oh well, at least they're having fun. So we talked about Burger in Bengals beer history. We talked about Who Day, and then there was a big change starting what time, Josh?
I just believe in the mid 90s, Bud Light, Anheuser-Busch as a whole took over the whole franchise, or not just franchise, but the whole league, I meant to say. So the NFL kind of went to more of a national brand with its beer as opposed to like these local cities and their local breweries. And Bud Light, big time NFL merchandise coming out in the mid 90s.
All right, we've got some. We're going to start off with some pocket calendars, where we
Yes,
see
so-
Budweiser prominent.
So, yep, mid 90s, you're starting to go to the bars. You're starting to see these Budweiser posters popping up on the wall, neon lights, logos on beer cans. A lot of these schedules are floating around out there. But like I said, it was the NFL as a whole. It wasn't really anything necessarily against local Cincinnati breweries, but Budweiser and the king of beers and Bud Light, they pretty much have run the NFL's, beer licensing over the last 25 years.
All right, sticking with Budweiser and Anheuser-Busch, here is another one maybe from the same pocket schedule.
Yep, these are all little pocket schedules that they give out. They're just really big on, they have a huge merchandising department, commercials and merchandise, and you see these things everywhere. And Budweiser was giving these pocket schedules out to help promote the product.
And continuing on, here's a.
Yeah, I actually wanted to ask Jamie about this. I believe this is it's a Budweiser can with the Bengals logo, but I don't have this. It was on the internet. I believe this was only
Oh yeah, if you look
sold
at
in
it,
Canada to
Yeah, it
have
looks like-
Jamie send us down here.
it looks like that is in French up there, right underneath official NFL sponsor.
Yeah, I don't have that, so I was waiting on Jamie to throw some of those across the border at us so we could throw them up on the shelves.
He is on special assignment. He'll be back next week.
Fair enough.
Special assignment. You see this one, 2013 and 14. Looks like similar can, change the years.
Yes. So actually, it was 2011 when Bud Light started this actual NFL kickoff promotion. So for today, they release a commemorative Bengals can. Well, every team in the NFL, but here's our Bengals ones, and they didn't really change the cans at all from 2013 to 14, just switching the banner year there at the bottom. So that's two of the cans over the last 10 years. That's the 2011 can there. So that's the first. That's the first can right there that they started on this new promotion. So there's 2011.
We're missing 12, or is that in the group shot?
12 should. There's 13, 14.
And
Keep
then
going.
we have this one.
So yeah, that in the bottom left is 2015. I believe it went to the all orange can, or the all black can maybe, was 16 and 17, and the Bud Light just straight blue cans with the B at the bottom was 19, and the B at the top was 2020. So
Gotcha.
yeah, basically have everything on display. I guess I didn't send you the picture of 2012, but
and I might have missed it. So do you envision these for those that want to collect coming back out for the 2021 campaign?
yes, I believe it's something that Bud Light's going to continue to. I didn't keep a whole lot of them because I didn't realize that it was going to be something they ran with for a decade and longer. But they're kind of hard to come by. The 2011, 2012, 13, 14 years. 2014 is really hard to find because they didn't really change the can a whole lot. It just had the logo. So, I mean, you can't find them on the internet anywhere. I probably threw away about 5,000 of them.
And they're released just in that team's market. You're not going to go down to Phoenix and find a Bengals can, correct?
That is correct. But they did last year, I believe, or maybe 2 years ago, they started releasing like a 32 pack of beer that had one of every team in it, which was kind of a cool piece to pick up.
Okay. So otherwise, in previous years, if you lived in Washington State and were a Bengals fan, you're going to get a Seahawks can and would have to get a friend back north.
You were out of luck, but that did kind of make it like a cool collectible piece because I would see like these little message groups where people were like, hey, I'll send you a Vikings can for a Bengals can or a Cowboys can for people that lived in the area. So it kind of made a like fun little trading piece.
Now, we talked about Anheuser-Busch here quite a bit. Actually, there's one more before I change. This one goes back just a couple years and as a neon light up sign, which is popular in bars. And this one commemorates the 50th anniversary.
Absolutely, yeah. So they did the I have the 40th anniversary light. That's the 50th anniversary light. They throw these up for their vendors. They go into bars, and from what I understand, the vendor gives these to the bar or the gas station that you purchase Bud Light at, and it's theirs to keep. So you see some of these bar owners, it says 2017. So eventually they'll hang it up for a year or two and then they take it down. And this is how you end up finding these at flea markets or on Craigslist. But that's just a really cool piece with the 50th anniversary logo there.
Now, is this one yours or?
That one is not mine. That's a picture from a bar. Hollis has one of those. He had the 50th anniversary and I have the 40th anniversry light. Maybe I'll show that next week. And
if somebody were to find these, what's a decent price to pay if you can lucky enough to find one?
Well, nothing broken. Yeah, they can go anywhere from $300 to $500, depending on.
All righty. Now, this next picture is a little bit closer to my heart as I am a avid Miller Lite fan as opposed to the other ones. Now I need to find the can here. And as we know, Miller Lite was hard to come by. I might have to upload this picture here. So why don't you talk about the 1 year that Miller Lite had a can, and I'm going to pull that picture up here. Let's see. There it is.
There you go. Miller Lite, the large mouth open bottle there. It's got the Paul Brown Stadium logo, 2000 to 2010. So these are actually really hard to come by because it's the only year that they ran that logo on the bottle. It's an aluminum bottle with the twist cap there. But that beautiful logo, Paul Brown Stadium, 2000 to 2010. Like I said, they only ran this can for one football season, so they're really hard to come by. Just
I don't
beer bottle if you can find one.
Yeah, I don't remember that one at all. That one was pretty cool. And one other outside the box one here.
Yeah, the Christian Moore line, Bay of Bengal. They sell these at Paul Brown Stadium. It is a craft beer, limited release can serving series. It says double IPA. But it's got a really awesome kind of tiger in the habitat of the jungle. You see the leaves like he's coming through the trees there. I just thought that was a really awesome can worth keeping. And like I said, they sell these at Paul Brown Stadium if you want to try.
All righty. So these, are unique. I think the thing about the beer side is obviously we're Bengals fans, Bengals collectors, but there's also beer collectors out there that collect this type of thing. So you're kind of got two different groups going for the same product here, which is a bit unique.
It's funny that you said that. We did one of the first shows I did. We showed a burger beer, kind of like an aluminum sign, like a tin sign. And Jimmy's like, "Oh, I'm looking for that." I was like, "Yeah, I'm looking for it too." I said that I know I can stand football, but he is a huge beer sign, neon sign, aluminum signs, and can collector, and it's part of his collection. And he doesn't want to come off it because, like you said, you compete with other facets of collecting when you get into different facets of the things that are out there. So,
Tom, anything you want to add to our beer segment? Does it make you want to run to your fridge and get a 16 lots beer or what?
I just became a grandpa this weekend. I can't,
Oh,
I
that's
become- but I
right.
think,
I-
but no,
congratulations.
I think the big thing is looking forward to that being part of our event next month. And things to share. Like you said, it isn't just collecting for Bengals; it's people collect beer things, and hopefully merging the two, especially in this town. But I can remember the days of the burger beer Bengal ads during games, in the 70s. And trust me, you needed a Hudipole during the Homer Rice years of the late 70s. You needed many Hudipolles in the latter part of the 70s.
We're not
front stadium.
We're not going to show your age on this, but what was the price of a Hudipole at Riverfront back in the day? Any recollection?
I don't remember because I was too young. I can just remember, much more than a baseball game. A guy screaming "beer guy," and they were always there. And of course, back then you could sell all 4 quarters. So, which was never good, especially if the Steelers and the Browns were in town. That did not always end pretty.
Well, Josh, we appreciate that as always. Just cool looking back at a lot of those. Certainly seeing some of the burger signs, but a lot of unique stuff. The 68 stuff was unique, especially saying Paul Brown, Cincinnati Bengals was pretty cool to look back on. As I said, Miller Lite was my favorite with the 10th anniversary of Paul Brown Stadium, and that neon light was pretty cool with the 50th anniversary. So without the head honcho here, we might actually finish on time tonight in our time slot. But one thing we do want to touch on that we didn't get a chance to address earlier was remembering our Hall of Fame guys that we've been pushing. Obviously, we had the huge event back in June at the Hall of Fame that, again, we want to thank all the Bengals fans that not only showed up, but supported that on social media, which was huge with Willie and honoring the other Bengal greats. And I know, Tom, you wanted to elaborate that on a little bit more, that we keep the momentum rolling. So go ahead and touch on that if you would.
It's critical. I've talked to some people that follow this nonstop, write about it nonstop, and they said that a lot of the momentum that current crop has had, the writers, the voters have taken another look at some of our Bengal legends because of what has popped up a little bit on social media. Now, certainly their play has done most of that, but it has been a part of it. And even though our rally is done, we've just heard that the senior voters that will nominate the senior nominee to be voted on and confirmed just before the Super Bowl do have their ballots. Certainly Ken Riley and Ken Anderson are closest to all of our hearts. They're long overdue. We've been over that. They belong in. But please, if you're on Facebook, if you're on any sort of social media, Twitter, put the word out there so it can get retweeted. If you see something about them, retweet it, pass it on. Any of the statistics, the support, or just simply the message that these guys deserve to be in. And for the modern candidates, as we found out clearly, Willie Anderson just wasn't the best right tackle of his era. He was probably the best offensive lineman of his era. And it's nothing against. There are some other fine offensive linemen under consideration that do deserve to go in Canton too. Willie's the best. Willie deserves to go in now. So please, Ken Riley, Ken Anderson, Willie Anderson, keep spreading the word. We can't let up, not now. It's the most important part. So please, keep up the word.
Any closing remarks, Josh, as we wind this episode up?
Well, it was about beer and football, so we learned about Dell's Kenny Daytime Delight. So hopefully that is now the official beer of the Bengal Jim and Friends show. I know Dell has it in his heart to donate some beers to the show that we can drink and advertise that while we do our upcoming shows in the upcoming week. So I'm excited on that release, and proceeds from that also go to Ken's charity. So even if you're not a beer drinker, go out and pick up some Bengals memorabilia.
Tom?
No, it sounds good. I can't wait to see everybody in August and actually late July and then August for the memorabilia show. And it's ready to start talking football. I think we'll be shifting, starting to examine the roster in the next coming weeks. And, it's a time of excitement. It's, we're on equal footing with every other team and every other fan base in the league right now. So let's go. It's go time.
Go time. We want to recap July 31st, back together at Paul Brown Stadium. Thank you to the Bengals for putting that on. Gates open at 2 p.m. We will be doing a pre-party at the Blind Pig at 11. If you want to get down earlier, then make the short walk over to Paul Brown Stadium. We'd love to see you there. We touched on training camp, August 7th and 8th. Don't forget to pre-register to get your tickets. And then August 28th, that fun night at 16 Lots. With all this beer talk tonight, makes me want to run there now if I was only in the Cincinnati metropolitan area. But that's going to be a fun day, 5 to 7, our Bengals Memorabilia Roadshow. And then, as we talked about, trivia night after that. Certainly miss Jimmy and the guys. Hope Jimmy has a great vacation down there in Mexico. Jamie on his, I think the Prime Minister sent him that task, didn't he, Tom? That whatever he's doing tonight,
he's on special assignment a little bit for the Canadian government, but mainly for us. And I'm just hoping Jimmy remembers his vacation. So,
and congratulations, the first grandchild, Tom. Right?
Thank you.
So
yeah,
that's
Elizabeth Blackburn. If you're watching, I do need that extra season ticket. So,
who won the pick the date and time and all that? Who was the lucky winner? Have you determined that yet?
I haven't, because it happened over the weekend and all that stuff's at work. So
it wasn't Jamie, right? It wasn't
Jamie had an entry. I'll have to check.
Okay. So, well, congratulations on that. And as always, thank everyone for tuning in, whether it's our friends from Who Dey Nation or our Bengals fans from across the globe. The one thing I do want to touch on, and I'd be remiss if I didn't, our friends from Bengals UK sent us a beer, and I'm sorry I'm squeezing in this last, but they sent us this. As you can see, it says Tiger Stripe Bengals UK. So we'd be remiss to not mention our buddies Paul and all of our great friends in the UK, and of course they're going to tie in the beer tradition of Cincinnati, and of course their history over there in the UK with drinking. So that is pretty cool. Maybe we can get some of that over here in the States when they're can safely cross the pond. But thank you for Paul and the Bengals UK for sharing that. Again, sorry I forgot that in the segment earlier, but look forward to drinking this at the first tailgate there, September 12th. And thank you to our buddy Dell for coming on earlier. And as Josh and Tom said, not only a great company with 16 Lots, a great man with Kenny Anderson, but with the money going to charity and the Kenny Anderson Alliance and what they do for the special needs people. Keep up the great work, gentlemen. Thanks for carrying the load tonight, and look forward to Jamie and Jimmy being back. And everybody stay safe, and we'll see you next Sunday. Who Dey, everybody.
Who Dey.
Yeah.